Q1043.
Joining me live in the studio right now, it is the Hives.
It truly
Welcome,
is.
guys. Welcome back to New York.
Thanks.
Pella, Nick Arson, Vigilante, Dr. Matt Destruction, and Chris Dangerous. Now, when did these names appear? Was it like right when the band formed? Because these are your sort of
Pretty much.
alter ego.
The
sort
dawn of
names.
man.
The Dawn of Man, which is when the Hives were born, actually.
When we started the band. Somewhere between the Bronze and the Middle Ages.
I've been playing you guys for years, and let me just say,
Thanks.
you got a new album coming out, Lex Hives, June 5th, a show coming up at Terminal 5 here in Manhattan, June 22nd. You guys just played a couple shows at Coachella in the desert, and you managed to do something that just doesn't really sound like rock and roll, but maybe it is, because you got people to sit down during the performance on one night, then you got everybody to lie down like the next night.
Well, the reason you do that because there's a little 45-second stretch left of the show, and by that time people are usually worn out, so they need a little bit of rest in order to put their maximum effort into the last 45 seconds.
Right.
And so do we.
How many people were you playing in front of in Coachella? Was it? It had to be
It
massive.
has to be like 500,000-600,000 people. No, it was
or 45.
maybe 50 or something. I think they sell 80,000 tickets at Coachella, and when we played, I don't know, probably 50.
Had you done that festival before?
We played Coachella in 2003.
So is it just bigger and crazier now, or is it pretty much the same?
It's the same, but twice.
Yeah, 2 weekends. Yeah. So I always wondered, how are they going to do that? Like, because bands are on tour, you just sort of plan on being around Los Angeles for like a week or something?
Yeah, I think that's what people do.
Oh, okay.
And we can't rest, so we did 3 shows.
Wow.
We played Solana Beach, Pomona, and some small shows in San Francisco.
And I know it was cold one weekend, sort of cold, and it was really hot like the next weekend, right? Yeah.
First Friday it was raining, and like in the as you say here, in the 60s maybe.
Yeah.
Second weekend it was we didn't play in the 60s. It was 2012. But,
right.
And the second weekend is 110 when we played.
Oh God.
And we wear some pretty substantial outfits. It's top hat and tails and layers upon layers of fancy dress.
Right.
And
so
it was hot.
I guess that requires that you need to bring a stylist or a wardrobe person with you on tour.
Nah.
No, you just do it yourselves?
You can fake it pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, suits look good.
They look great.
They don't smell as good.
No, well, especially after Coachella performance.
Yeah, after an hour and 110 degrees, yeah.
You guys been doing this for what, almost 20 years now? Is it close to 20 years?
Yeah, next year we'll celebrate, if we have time between shows.
Tell me, is it Stockholm where you guys were formed originally?
No. It's 2 hours northwest of Stockholm in the Rust Belt.
Okay.
Or the Vodka Meridian, as they call it. It's this thing that goes across Alaska and Russia and Sweden, where it's an old mining town.
What is the town called?
Fagersta.
Okay. I know those guys in Soundtrack of Your Lives.
Yeah.
Good guys. They've been on this show before.
Yeah, they're
too.
great. Yeah, good band.
What were the bands that you guys were listening to growing up that made you sort of get the sound that you have now?
Well, we weren't really listening much to current music. We were listening to American punk rock and Swedish punk rock. Well, American punk rock as in like the Misfits and the Dead Kennedys and stuff. Bands that broke up a bunch of years before we heard them. But, that was before the internet, so it took a couple of years. I mean, we probably got American movies 2 years later than you got them here.
Yeah.
And American bands 5 years later.
Ramones?
And then,
Ramones?
the Ramones too.
Yeah, we listened to current music as well, though, but that was mostly like hard rock and heavy metal, I guess. But it's like, as far as the punk, it was basically bands who'd already quit, kind of.
Yeah.
And then we listened to like what we found, whatever we could scrounge from our parents' records collections, as in like Chuck Berry's and Little Richards and stuff like that.
That's the great
early
stuff.
Rolling Stones.
It was also, this was in the days of record stores, so we would go to the record store, and records there would be more expensive than the records you could buy at the bookstore, which were like 50s and 60s records. So we'd go to the bookstore and buy 4 for the price of 1.
Right. And now this whole sort of vinyl comeback, which I think is pretty cool. I mean, I heard it somewhere. Somebody said
it never went away at my house.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm hearing that the record companies might actually close their CD manufacturing plants and convert them back into vinyl plants.
That'd be pretty cool.
Sounds pretty cool.
Yeah. Your website I love because it resembles an old radio station.
Yeah.
It's thehivesbroadcastingservice.com, and the call letters are what, like THBS?
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
But did you guys listen to like a lot of radio growing up as kids, or was it where'd the idea come from for that website and that design?
Well,
It's a sort of a Hives enigma machine.
Yeah.
I guess. It's sort of a how to decode the Hives.
Because when you click one of those switches, you get a little piece of the Courage single, which I'm going to play in a bit. But it's great. So what is the Hives' mission right now?
the mission,
Same as always. World domination plan.
You're
we're
getting
we're
close.
to reestablish. But every time we get close, we go away for a couple of years.
Well,
So
yeah,
it's
the
sort of
last album
like,
came out in 2007, right?
Yes, it's
That's
been
a
a
long
while.
time ago.
It is a long time.
Yeah.
We move in big circles, and it's a big world, a lot to tour. So I guess to reestablish ourselves at the top of the heap, I guess that's what we're going to do.
You're doing the right things. Again, it's we're live in the studio with the Hives, the new album Lex Hives, June 5th. Show coming up at Terminal 5 here in the city, June 22nd. Tell me about this new album, Lex Hives. You work with an old friend of yours, Josh from Queens of the Stone Age, right?
Not on the actual album. We recorded the album ourselves and produced it ourselves.
Okay.
And we did everything ourselves. But when we were done with the album, we went to Los Angeles to mix it
Okay.
in order to eat Mexican food and get some sun in the middle of the dreadful Swedish winter.
Yeah.
So that was sort of our treat to ourselves to go there and mix it with Andrew Sheps is his name. And his studio is very close to Josh's studio, and we are very close to Josh as people. So we basically went into his studio and recorded a couple of songs just because we've always wanted to work together and stuff, and he always wanted to work with us. So
Well, wasn't there, did you do something with Eagles of Death Metal or something a long time ago?
we did a tour,
Yeah.
A
Like
tour
in
with those guys.
2009 maybe. Or something.
2009, something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
They're great.
Queen-
Super band.
Queens
Yeah,
of the
we
Stone
went
Age
to,
are great, man.
yeah, they're great too.
We also had a barbecue in between the Coachella weekends at Dave's house in the desert from Eagles of Death Metal. So
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
they're
it's where
a very
they-
good friend of ours.
It's where
Friends
they
of ours.
recorded a lot of those early like Caius and what have you records.
Okay.
The spiritual home of all that desert rock and roll, I guess.
Rancho de la Luna.
Yeah.
I want to play the song that I've been playing actually for a couple weeks now. It's called Go Right Ahead, the inspiration, if you will, for this song.
Yeah. The inspiration for the song.
Glam.
Yeah, glam rock. We mined so many different sort of rock subgenres. We, dug through punk, garage rock, and 50s rock and roll, rockabilly, and new wave, and all of it. But glam rock was sort of a blind spot on our map. So this is our dig at glam rock with like saxophones and actually using the same guitar amp that T-Rex used.
Oh, really?
Not the same one, but the same
kind,
model. Yeah.
right.
Super
yeah.
Dane.
Yeah.
Mark Bolan, T-Rex.
Yeah.
I mean, all great bands. Well, guys, thank you so much for coming by.
Oh, thank you for having us.
Don't be strangers. Come back anytime.
We will.
It is the Hives.
You're going to regret you said that.
No. Maybe I'll regret that later
I'm gonna
tonight
move in.
or tomorrow morning. The new album, Lex Hives, coming out June 5th. And again, the show at Terminal 5, June 22nd. Guys, thanks so much for stopping by.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.